Okay. Now, I've got a ton on Ukraine, but I'm going to start with a story about us. Drums. So, we have a new investment in the Young Turks. It's by Buddy Roemer's group. He is, of course, the former Republican governor of Louisiana. Oh my God, wait a minute. Okay, dramatic. He now runs a private equity fund, Romer, Robertson, Melville, and Company. And so a lot of people are wondering, oh my God, what's going to happen? In fact, there's already an article out that says Buddy Roemer buys the Young Turks. Well, it's over. Before, we were rumored to have been bought by Al Gore, and then he sold us to Al Jazeera, and now apparently Buddy Roemer has bought us. Okay, so none of that is true. We were on Current TV, which was owned by Al Gore, but the Young Turks, that's the company, had nothing to do with that. It was a show that they licensed. They licensed the name The Young Turks. They had me on as a host. They had Anna, Jesus, JR, etc., but they did not own the company. And in terms of Al Jazeera, well, they didn't, since Current never owned us, they couldn't possibly sell us to Al Jazeera, and Al Jazeera couldn't afford us. I'm pretty sure Al Jazeera could afford just about anything in the world. But that was certainly not part of the deal, not part of the deal we wanted or they wanted. Now, what Buddy Roemer's group has done is that they have invested in us. But I like, most of the coverage, by the way, has been incredibly positive, and it should be. This is going to allow us to do so much more, do more expansion, more shows, more content for you guys, and do exactly the kind of media we want to do, right? But I like that there's already some suggestions that I've, quote-unquote, sold my soul. That was in one of the articles. But that's just a warm-up. I like one guy said that I have become, quote, Buddy Roemer's bitch. That's awesome. And that he claims, well, you know, Buddy Roemer's a conservative, which is true. And that I am a progressive, which is also true. And he says, well, I guess they agree on their pet issue, which is campaign finance reform, getting money out of politics, saving our democracy. It's a pet issue. I mean, we could save the whales, we could, you know, go vegan, or we could save democracy. It's a pet issue. It's that tiny little thing. Yeah, no, that would kind of be the heart of it. I love people who are pro-establishment and think that everything is going swimmingly, and the guy who wrote this is a Hillary Clinton lover, and he's so mad at me that I've criticized Hillary Clinton. How dare you, our beloved Hillary Clinton? In one article, he talked about how Hillary Clinton would definitely be a better candidate than Elizabeth Warren and definitely had a better chance of winning, and said 3 different times in the article, it's a fact. I think you might not know what that word means. You see, you would have to present evidence, and you would have to prove your case. You would have to show data for it to be a fact. Just saying, Hillary Clinton is definitely better. She definitely has a better chance of winning than Elizabeth Warren is not a fact. That is your opinion, man. Okay, so now all these guys, or in fact, it's just really honestly 2 guys, but of course you always focus on the negatives. Think that it's obvious, it's over. I will change all of my opinions. That's not true. So far, since the deal is closed, I've only changed 3 opinions. Look, Keystone, I mean, look, we need the jobs, we need energy independence, okay? We got to be reasonable, okay? So we already have the southern half, it's not that big deal. We'll do the northern half too, okay? So just Keystone's fine. And then on Social Security, look, you got to sometimes trim it a little bit to save the program overall, okay? So I don't consider that a big change in opinion, okay? I'm trying to reform Social Security so we can keep it for future generations. And then on Wall Street, look, those guys, yes, they had some troubles in 2008, but they're critical to the global economy, and we can't just write them off, right? It's very important that they. Is anybody buying this? I bet you that some people were like, I knew it, man. Yeah, bitch. All right, the proof is in the pudding, or the actual real statement, of course, is that the taste of the pudding is, no, I fucked it up. I can never get that right. I don't know why I can't get it right. Okay. And a lot of these articles say, Uyghur's a liberal with a libertarian streak. I don't know what you want to call me. That's fine, I guess. Until Romer invested in us, literally had never read a single thing stating that I had a libertarian streak. Romer invested in us, all of a sudden, what is that I got on my back? Oh, look, it's a libertarian streak. All right, guys, listen, we're going to make this show better. And look, the Romer Group is fantastic. We looked really long for a good partner, and we actually had a lot of suitors, bless their hearts, okay? We went with these guys because we agree on the same things. We got to get money out of politics. If we get money out of politics and then Buddy and I go back to debating the issues, that would be phenomenal, right? But really, the main reason the deal was done was because we need money for expansion because we're doing great, thank God, and we want to be able to do even better, right? And they wanted a good investment in new media. That's it. God bless. Now, can I be bought for money? Did we not resolve this? Didn't we go through this a couple of times? Okay, well, of course, every time, and by the way, it's true, every time you got to check, right? So, whatever the real saying is, the proof is in the pudding, okay? You'll see going forward. If all of a sudden I'm like, well, I mean, was Iraq War really that bad? Then you'll have your answer. But I've been tested before, and so God bless, I'm looking forward to this new test as well. And the people that are actually going to keep me in check are not bloggers, writers, Republicans, libertarians, whatever it is. It's you guys, right? Like, believe me, the minute I do anything slightly off, you guys are all over me. Yesterday, when I was talking about Jesus' wife, I said papyrus a couple of times, or papyrus. And it's apparently an ancient papyrus, a papyrus. Okay, but now I know. Thank you, guys, and I won't make that mistake again. You see, that's how the show works. All right, so we're happy to have that investment. We're happy to make the show bigger and better, and that's that. And the rest you'll get to judge as you go, okay? Now, next story. Tax cuts for the rich, not so bad. Okay. How many of those can I do? Back on A Young Turks, Cenk and Anna Kasparian. Anna's got some great stories, of course, for you guys in a second. We have had some technical issues on today's show, and I'm sorry we started late as well for the live stream. So some of the tweets are about that. Let me read, and some are about Romer, etc. David Kennedy writes in, so does Buddy Romer get naming rights to the studio? No, he doesn't.
Does Buddy Romer get any rights to anything at TYT?
Oh, by the way, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
I neglected to mention when I talked about it in the beginning of the show, we have full editorial independence. It's contractual. There's no question about it. We never talk to anyone about an investment if it isn't absolutely clear that we have editorial independence. If they're not interested in that, we don't even have the conversation.
Just to be even clearer, there have been potential investors in the past that offered a ton of money, but they wanted some editorial control, and Cenk's like, no. So
we'll tell that story one day. It's an interesting story. Anyway, Bryce Bender says, please don't call yourself a progressive, Cenk. You're a liberal and you should be proud of it. Bryce, there is a distinction. I might write a whole book about it. But I hear you, brother. Don't get me wrong. I'm not running away from liberal. Flint's Downing Tom says, 4 million can go pretty fast in today's economy. When they give you double digits, I might say sold. Okay, well, we look forward to that day. Okay, and you're right. 4 million for an individual is a ton of money. For a business with over 30 employees, unfortunately, it goes by a little quicker than you think. Okay, Pratik Lala says, Cenk, the saying is, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Thank you. It's apparently a 14th century saying.
Pudding.
Prince of Puns, Prince of Puns says, I don't feel comfortable with this investment. The thing that was so special about TYT Live was that it was beholden to the members only. We're still beholden to you guys. That's a huge part of our revenue. So if we screw you over, we screw over a big chunk of our operating revenue. So our financial incentives are still aligned. So don't worry about that. But always make sure that we're on point, right? Just trust but verify, right? I love that it's ironically Reagan who said that. Okay.